Holla, my people. Yeah, I'm going to drop this bomb. Boom! And I'm going to run before it explodes. Because this one, it is explosive. It can take your neck off. And I do not want to be here when it lands. I'm going to drop it and run. Okay. This video is quite related to the one I did before about people knowing their places. If you are a poor person, you must know your place. The secrets to progress many don't know. This is also some secrets in interactions that we need to know. The natural thing to do is for everybody to bring something to the table. Some people bring skills, which often translates into cash. And these people, they go to work and they work. And when they come home, they need to rest. Yeah. So initially, that's how the roles were set in the household. The men were the hunters. They went to the wild to hunt. After hunting and being chased by lions and tigers and all sorts, Connie, these hunters came home and they were ready to find some tree to hang on and relax. Whilst the other partner, who did not go hunting and gathering, who was chilling in the house, begins her shift. In this human interaction, there should be reciprocity, okay? Each person contributes something that the other one needs, and then it all improves the unit. Like I said, at first the men went hunting, Diana and Samuel. When they went hunting, they worked during the day, running away from lions, escaping from tigers, and trying to get fruit and vegetables and whatever. And they brought it to the home. When they finished their shifts and they came home, the reason why the women did all the cleaning and they did all the cooking and they did all the rest of it was because those did not go to the wild. So when the food from the wild was brought, those then started cooking whilst the men tried to sleep. They started cleaning. Those roles were set because everybody has to contribute something. And no, one person cannot do it all whilst another person just sits. In the 21st century, there is no forest. Nobody is avoiding a tiger. Nobody is escaping from a lion. We all go to the jungle, which is the workplace, to go dodge workplace tigers and workplace lions together. When we come home, just as we did the workplace tigers together, we should come to the home place tigers. And there are certain things that need to be understood. And these things have nothing to do with gender. My problem is, and most people's problems are, that they don't understand this simple thing. It has nothing to do with gender. You have to understand that in interactions, in relationships, everybody has to bring something. And the day most people understand this simple thing, progress can finally be made. Everybody has to bring something to the table. Please understand that. The something you bring to the table can be your filus, cash, money, contributions this way. But if you are not making this kind of contribution, you must bring this contribution, because both are needed in the home. You either bring this contribution or this contribution or a bit of both. Please understand that. Just as I was telling people, when you are poor, you have to serve in interactions. If Virginia is my rich friend and I want Virginia to pay for the lunch that we eat, I will carry Virginia's handbag. Wallahi, I will carry her handbag. If I'm not careful, I'll open the door for her. In fact, if I'm not careful, I will wipe her nyash for her. Yeah, so that she can give me some of her money. You either bring this or you bring this. Okay. Life nugget. You want to understand the second contribution. The second contribution is your brute force, is your energy. It is your strength. The same thing happens in the home, you know. If you don't have this, Candy, you have to be humble. If you don't have this, you have to serve. If you don't have this, you have to. I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and she was telling me about her experiences in marriage. When she first got married, she got married to a well-to-do guy. They were in Ghana. And the guy was gainfully employed. At first, she was not. And she was telling me, Amma, I was like a maidservant in the house. When he came from work, Amma, I had to run to the car. I had to collect his bag. I had to bring it indoors. And woe unto me if his food was not on the table. And Amma, at the time, I did not understand. I felt he was horrible. He was horrific. Why wouldn't he let me rest? So I asked her, rest from what? You were home the whole day. What were you resting from? This guy had gone out to work. He had been used at his work. And he came home. Yes, the day is almost finished when he comes home. So all he wants is to get his food. So he gets a few hours to sit on the couch, allow his tongue to catch flies, fall asleep and watch some television. Whilst he rested, you were also now on duty. And yes, he needed you to wash his backside and to wipe it for him because you expected him during the day to go sweat it out and bring it to you. And she was like, no, I did not understand that when we lived in Ghana. Well, we came abroad because she won the lottery. She won the US lottery. And it made sense, really, to go together. So the guy gave up his job and they went to the States together. The funny thing with the States and most of these Western places is that they are actually built for the professions. He went hunting, he took all the bullets, he dodged all the hyenas and all the lions in the workplace. And when he came home, he was tired. And he wanted to come to his palace and to be served and to be waited on. And he did. And she resented him for that. So they went to the States. This girl went to the States, and before they arrived, you know, the orientation people give you, somebody had to become a nurse. So as soon as they went to the States, she had to become a nurse. She ran to become a nurse, yada, yada, yada. This guy, as much as he was working in Ghana and was doing well, did not really have a profession. And so in the States, this guy had to go back down to customer service, working in shops as customer service, being paid minimum wage. And so when they had children and somebody had to cut back on hours, it was a bit stupid for the nurse to give up the hours for the guy who was on minimum wage to go and work extra minimum wage shifts when they could flip it and she could work the extra hours and he could stay home most of the time. So they did that. And this is the lady's confession. Listen carefully. She says, you know, as soon as the roles flipped and I found myself working the extra hours, I would go to work, stand on my feet, do extra shift, and I will come home to see this guy sitting on the couch. And you know, I would look at this guy and I'm like, is he for real? What has he done? What is he contributing? So we started having conversations about, hey, you remember when we were in Ghana? And the guy was like, yeah. Remember when you worked the extra hours and I didn't? The guy was like, yeah. Do you remember what I needed to do for you in Ghana? The guy was like, yeah. Well, that's what you need to do for me here. I will go and I will do these extra shifts and do the extra whatever. But when I come home, honey baby, sugar pie, no, you are not piling feeding bottles for me to come and wash after I have gone to do the double shift, baby. No. In fact, I should ask you also to come meet me at the door and collect my briefcase too. No, it's not gender related. No, baby. No, it's not. It's just because that I am the one doing the long hours. And at the moment, you're not doing many hours. And so whoever is not doing many hours needs to step up and do the extra things that need to be done in the home. And Amma, the first time I brought it up, my husband had a cardiac arrest. He could not bear it. So I called a friend of ours who'd lived abroad for a while. And I asked my friend to explain to his friend what I'm trying to say to him. Obviously, her husband. And the woman doesn't respect. And the conversation really is no. It's not about respect, baby. It's about what is needed in the home. When the women have to do it, we have always been told to do it. So the reasons why the women had to do those things have not become apparent to you. Look, if you decide to live like a woman, you will do like a woman. If you decide to do like a man, then you live like a man. My mother respected my father. That's true. But your father was the hunter, the gatherer. So that when he came home, he sat and he rested. His wife did not work. His wife was in the home, waiting for her shift. Yeah, some of you will be shocked. Some of you will be shocked. Some of you think that it's got something to do with the genitals you have. It has not. It is about everybody playing a significant role in the life that people live. Anyway, this woman says to me that their friend explained it to the husband. The husband did not himself understand. But the husband also values his marriage. So he booked himself and went for a course somewhere. And the person who ran the course just explained it in ways in which this guy got it. So now he comes home and he says to his wife, baby, you do these extra hours. I don't know how doing house chores is respect, but a lot of our men see it that way. But this lady was telling me that she herself was shocked, that she resented coming home and having to do certain things, and it was too much for her. Look, there's only 24 hours. It was too much for her. When she comes home, she has to take the extra shift, and after the extra shift, she comes and there's a third shift sitting in the house waiting. Oh, well, Virginia, the men in Africa did not enslave us. Most of us in Africa enslaved ourselves. We were not making any meaningful contribution to anything else except the housework, except the upbringing of the children, except running the home. So you were the chief executive of the home. So you stayed there. And yes, he went and he brought food and you cooked food and you ate. In the end, it serves everybody, and every member of the home was actually doing something significant. The women cooking, cleaning was significant because the men didn't want to do it and couldn't do it. The men going out to work and bringing the money was significant because the women couldn't do it and didn't want to do it. So the women were doing what the men didn't want to do. The men were doing what the women didn't want to do. In the end, it balanced out and everybody made a meaningful contribution. And yes, when a man went and worked and came home, his woman did not ask a question. He didn't even have to breathe himself. She would pump air straight through his nostrils. Yeah, the discussions that did not happen before is where the perception of the slavery came from. And the slavery actually becomes real when one person ends up doing both, like most people end up asking people to do when you come to the West. I am going to go to work for 8 hours. You too, go to work for 8 hours. When I come from work, I'm tired. Philip, when you come from work, you are tired. But after you've come back from work, having done the same sort of thing as I did, and coming to pay a fair share of the bills as I do. Can you go to the kitchen right now and cook? No, I don't like leftover food. Oh, no. Why are the diapers here? Why haven't you wiped here? Ho. Come wash my car. Yes. I don't want this kind of food. Go and cook another one. No, that does not work. Yes, I know people don't like domestic staff. To be honest, me, if I need domestic staff, we get domestic staff. If we both go and we do the full shift and we need domestic staff, we need somebody to care for the baby and to clean up before we come, then yeah, that's a decision we need to make jointly. If we are not doing the domestic staff and we are going to pitch in to pay the bills, then after we've worked full time to pitch in to pay the bills, we need to pitch in with the things. Yes, I am the better cook, I'll cook. But there are certain things that need to be done too. I know somebody who came to me this week to complain about being asked to take out the bin. So I asked him, can you cook? No, you can't cook. Okay. Can you wash clothes? Even the washing machine he can't use. No problem. Can you sweep? No. That's for women. No problem. Taking out the bin. How can a whole me be doing such a menial job? Well, I don't know which half person in your home should be wiping the floor the way you don't want. Should be wiping your backside the way you don't want. Should be carrying out the rubbish the way you don't want. And then be paying most of the bills or half of the bills the way some of these systems are set up. I don't know how it's going to work for you long term. So what exactly are you contributing to the home? And this guy was looking at me like, come. Let me tell you the truth the way you need to hear it, in a way that you need to understand it, so you understand the importance for you. Mabel, come. So this woman, she pays her own bill. She's already had children. When she comes from work, she's too tired to even jump in bed with you. You are not getting enough action in the bedroom. No. Means she's wasting all the energy at work. Yes. Okay, no problem. This woman pays the bills for herself most of the time. Yeah. She cooks in the house. Yeah. She cleans in the house. Yeah. You want her to take out her own bin? Yeah. You want her to wash her own clothes? Yeah. So what's the point in having you in her life? And you could see the catch finally when he understood. Yeah. What's the point of you? Why will she tolerate you and your nonsense and all the inconvenience that comes with living with another person when you do not do anything to make yourself relevant in this relationship? And I say this to the women too. Please understand, this is not gender related. I always say to the women who come wanting to bat an eyelid and expect you guys to drop everything and do. You guys get sick and tired of those women. Speak the truth. Ask the men who have foolishly taken on lead. I call them lead women. Lead weights. They don't do anything for themselves. They just come heavy to come suck you dry and drag you down. They are pieces of lead who make progress difficult. Ask the men who encounter women like that and ask them, do they get sick and tired of them at some point? Initially, when the woman is attractive, okay, fine. They will tolerate you. Initially, before the children are born, okay, they will tolerate you. After the children are born, ask those women what happens to them. Ask what happens to them when they are irrelevant in people's lives. What happens to them? Don't you realize that's the same thing that will happen to a man who allows that to happen to you too? So yeah, you don't want to take the trash. No problem. So the one thing you do that she doesn't have to do, the one thing that could make you significant, I mean, it's a bit sad that the one thing you have to stake a claim towards relevance is taking out the trash, the bin. And even that one too, you don't want to do. So now that she is able to go out and do her own bin, buy her own food, clean the house and whatever else, and she has a choice to live alone and cook for one. When you cook for one, you eat whatever the hell you want. If you don't want to cook, no explanation. If you want to eat one meal 5 times a day, that is your business. If you don't bring anything to the table, if you don't make any meaningful contribution to a pairing, if you are a liability rather than an asset to people, they get sick and tired of you at some point. And even if they don't get rid of you, you will find yourself now commanded like a dog. And no, it happens to both genders for the same reason. This is what happens to the men and they cry. It happens to the women all the time, but you guys treat it as normal, so you don't realize. The woman in the home, hey, come here, I've got guests, cook. Hey, come, why is this place so dirty? Wipe. Hey, somebody bring me water. He's sitting by the fridge. Most men, my father's generation and older, did that. Hey, somebody get me water. He sat by the fridge. Why is he asking somebody to get him water? That somebody is very likely to be his wife. Why? Vuyo. It's because he went to work full time and his wife probably did not. It's because he's single-handedly paying the rent. Listen carefully. He is single-handedly paying the rent. And because he's paying the rent, he wants to be served. Yes, he wants his briefcase to be collected at the door. He wants his packed lunch to be taken to the car. Yes, no, he doesn't want to lift any other finger to do any other thing except the 4 days work he's going to do at the office. But some of you are now asking your female spouses to pay for the bill. The nurses in particular, to work 3-5 shifts, make the money, bring it to the home, pay for everything, and then also serve you on top of it. This is how this thing works. This is how the cookie has always crumbled. But it is funny how in this day, 2022, I still have people who come to me and don't understand how these things work. It's why I have decided to make this video. So let me break it down for you. In any relationship, nobody takes on liabilities in pairings. Usually, if you carry somebody as a liability in one aspect, they must become an asset in another way. Yeah, we all have friends who can't contribute fairly. So, when you contribute money to buy food communally, the one who doesn't contribute, guess what? That is the person who has to wash the plate after. Have you guys noticed? Even as children, it's a human nature because everybody has to make some kind of contribution. Yeah, when you make a contribution for something, when say you are organizing an event and all of you bring money and your friend Nathaniel was not able to pay, Nathaniel will become the errand boy naturally in this arrangement. And hey, Nathaniel, go here and get this one from the car because Nathaniel didn't buy the food. Nathaniel, can you please get the bench from the corner and bring it? And hey, because Nathaniel did not contribute as an equal. And so Nathaniel is going to be treated like a child. Elizabeth, can you please go here and wipe my backside for me? Yes, you, because Elizabeth did not pay. Elizabeth did not act like your equal and put down equally like you. Julia has elevated herself a little bit higher by paying. Manson couldn't afford to pay. Hey, Amma, can you please run around? And that is how it happens. When food is contributed towards and eating happens, those who did not pay a fair amount are the ones who wash the dishes afterwards. Because it is the lesser people, the children in the whole setup, who clean. That's how the system works. Yeah, so it's natural. People don't think it's fair. I don't know where the unfairness is. You want me to buy food for you. And when I finish buying the food for you, you want me, the same me, to go wash up your plate too for you. And because you are God, right? So I should buy the food for you. And when I finish feeding you, I should also wash the plate for you. Does that make sense to you in your own head? Anywhere? Does this make sense to anybody? Try and think about it that way. Break it down to very simple terms and see if it makes sense. Mauli. It is about balance so that people's lifespans are not cut short. If you are not willing to contribute as an adult, you will serve like a child. Everyone must be responsible in some way. Yes, I teach that to my children. And I want my children to understand that. And I wonder how some of us have become adults and don't understand this. Well, of course, that's why the West treats Africa the way they do. Yes, we always go cup in hand, begging. It's why we are where we are at, of course. He who goes to beg for food cannot have dignity. Brenda, he who begs for food can have no dignity. No dignity. If dignity is important to you, you know exactly what to do. When you go and people are contributing for food, your hand has to dip in your pocket and you have to put something to the table. It's not just in amorous relationships. It's in business relationships. When you have business arrangements and somebody else brings the capital. So normally you have two types of partners. The one who brings the capital is described as a silent partner. You know why? They give you the money and then they bugger off somewhere else. They do not use their energy to work. No, they don't stay and they don't hustle. The working partner is often the one who has less capital. It's the same in business. Ask those who know business. This is how you would be able to convince anybody to say, hey, okay, fine. I don't have enough money. You have the money. No problem. Bring the money. I will do more of the work. Yes, you are the working partner when you don't have enough money to be equal Stevens with the person you are in partnership with. As I said in my opening statement, you contribute with this or you contribute with this. Those who learn to bring this, preserve this. Those who don't have this, for use this. Share the video, tag everybody. The brothers who were bleeding, the last time I did the diaspora marriage one, tell them today I have cut. The last time I was scratching. I was only scratching. Today I have actually cut. I love you loads. You know I do. But I've got to go and sleep. So please, tag everybody for me. Anybody who needs to see this video, you know, and that's a lot of people. Tag them for me. Find all of their groups and share this there for me and help them to understand that everybody must contribute somehow. Everybody must meaningfully contribute somehow. Either with this or with this. Just tell them this or this. Good night, everyone. Bye.